I think he's been learning all the time. He probably just needs to keep learning too, but he's been good. And funny enough, I think his best performance was probably when he actually got the only time he's been beaten. But he does like good ground. That'll be very important to him. Duvin, I think, is probably one of the standouts of the meeting, and he's going to be very hard to beat. But we have him and Lammy Surge to come into it. So in any year they'd be a good shout. So well, we'll have a go.
And the Racing Post article, is that the plan for Lammy Surge?
I think so. I mean, I honestly don't know what happened at Warwick. He didn't beat anything these previous two runs, I know, but he'd been visually impressive. He's been very good at home. 2 days before Warwick, he schooled here. He jumped 10 fences. You won't see anything jump better. And yet he went to Warwick, and for me, it wasn't happening after 2 fences. And I cannot tell you why. There's absolutely no explanation for it at all. And I think the only thing we can do is just take it out of our minds and pretend it didn't happen. It's not a very satisfactory way of coming into this, but there is no other way to do it. You either put him away, for what? So you've got to have a go, unless he tells us something different.
Looking at the champion chase, Sprinter Sacre, at the start of the season, you said he had his old swagger back. Do you still think that the case? Is he still showing that same sparkle?
I think so. Nobody's going to tell you that he's or me, that he's what he was, because if that was the case, he'd be. Well, we wouldn't be talking ifs and maybes and whats. He'd be just saying it will. You knew it would happen. You didn't, but it was as good as you could. He's still a very good horse. When he was at his imperial best, then he had stones in hand. We haven't got that. We haven't got anything in hand. It's going to be very tough. But he is in good shape. I'm just if everything can stay on course as it is at the moment, I think he comes in here with us. This is realistic. We've stood here before, like last year, and sort of had to try and put a brave face on it. But I'd like to think this isn't just a brave face. It's dreaming, but it's possible.
Do you see it as a race? If you beat RSA, you've won it.
Well, yeah, I think he's the horse that stands out. That he's going to be up there on the pace. Even if you might have Special TR even making it on him, in which case they might they'll test each other a bit, perhaps, or who knows? I mean, we've always ridden him the same way. He's not going to be making the running, that's for sure, because there'll be a fierce pace on. So he's just got to get into his rhythm, and he runs his own race very often. He decides when he wants to go. When he does, you let him go. And if that sort of will and everything is there, then we'll see what happens.
And Joss's Hill regained the winning thread last time, on course for the Ryanair.
Yeah, I thought he was good. It's the first time his jumping suddenly went from questionable to actually looking pretty solid. If you can put that back together again, then yeah, I'd be quite keen. Proviso would be that I suspect he's a little bit better right-handed than left. But we haven't. Cheltenham is left-handed, and that's that. I can't change it. And it's the obvious place to go. So I think if his confidence, we'll keep schooling him, and his confidence is up from that run. Yeah. I think the Ryanair's open. I mean, again, a lot of people have probably got to decide which way certain horses are going. So it's a bit up in the air of what there will be. But he and actually Captain Conan, he'll go there as well.
And Vita de Rock has the option of the RSA in the 4-miler. What will sway your mind as to where he ends up?
I think if it was soft ground, 3 miles would be plenty for him. So you'd certainly take out the 4-miler in soft ground. I think that would be awful tough on a young horse. The RSA is hard enough as it is. So I'd think RSA personally, but I mean, we can see nearer the time. He's in both, so I think the ground could easily dictate that. And he hasn't got a lot of experience. Just very good amateurs around, but I'm not sure he's the ideal horse for that,
Looking at your squad as a whole, who do you think is your best chance of a winner?
Look, we haven't got anything that's blatantly saying, this should win. There's quite a few coulds, and to be honest, I think the first race, the Supreme with the two in now, Altior and Bouvardet as a joint attack, is our best race. In an overall with two of them there, hopefully one of them will be they'll be there at the last anyway.